Spikes. Welcome back. It has been a little bit. Do you know where you are right now?
There's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
And these are not Magic the Gathering cards.
It's true. So do you know what that means?
No.
It means that we're back with another Goliath Gauntlet. I know. We had a little bit of downtime between our last episodes and now. We had to do a little bit of retooling in the back end of how these videos worked. And there are going to be a couple of different changes. They're not going to be super impactful, but they will be noticeable, and you'll notice it, of course, with these first few. The main thing is, instead of having a rotating cast of decks that a deck goes up against, like the challenger challenges, the Gauntlet is going to be a static series of decks that, they can get updated or swapped out depending on how, how new releases work and stuff like that. But largely they will be the same decks, and the challenger will be the deck that's different. Whatever deck wants to go against the gauntlet, go through the gauntlet rather, will, be going against the same smattering of decks, but they'll all be decks that represent like a specific style of play. For example, what I'm bringing here, which I'll go into, is Iyslander, and this sort of represents a control strategy, which I think will more closely align with our idea of having, seeing how a deck functions within certain different environments. The other main difference is that we aren't going to be doing wrap-ups anymore. We're just going to be doing sort of more talk after the games, just to sort of cut down on extra additional things that didn't really add as much value as I think we would have hoped. And these series are not going to be a series of 5, they're going to be a series of 4. So it's going to be 1 deck versus 4 different decks. And then we are opening ourselves up to the possibility of, if it's tied at the end of the series, depending on just kind of like how we're feeling, the challenger might request a rematch against one of the decks they lost against, where it's like, hey, I don't think that this performed quite the way I wanted it to, so do you want to do a rematch to make it, best 3 out of 5 sort of deal. But as it is right now, we're just doing a series of 4 against a static series of decks. Largely, though, everything else is the same. Starting off with the fact that I'm the same. I am Bill from the Spike Feeders. I am going to be the one piloting the Gauntlet decks for today. And I'm going to be playing Iyslander, as I mentioned. This is a list that I pulled directly from, I believe her name is Frost Queen Zeno on the main Flesh and Blood Discord. This is her Iyslander deck that she has put a lot of effort into, a lot of love into, and apparently has been performing quite well. I don't really play Iyslander, so if it doesn't perform well, I apologize in advance. but yeah, so I'm going to be playing this. It seems to be a fairly general Iyslander strategy. It doesn't require any wildfire shenanigans or anything. It's just sort of ping in for damage where you can, and then maybe go off later, sort of thing, with like a medium but still impactful final turn sort of deal, building up to when you have enough resources to do a big swing. And against it, the first challenger of the 2023 Gauntlet series is...
That me.
It's you.
I'm back too.
Who are you?
I guess I'm Eliot.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. You should tell us what equipment you're using first, though.
That's true. We're getting back into it. So my equipment suite that I'm going to be playing here for Iyslander, first of all, she's going to be using Waning Moon, which is her staff. Her staff is very good. It just does damage, but then sometimes more damage. Then I also have Arcanite Skullcap, which I think is going to be impactful in this matchup specifically because Dash is just a deck that wants to continuously poke for damage.
Well, spoilers. I'm playing Dash.
Oh, that
Do we
too.
usually introduce both characters and then the equipment? I don't remember how these work.
I think this will be fine. This will be fine because it's outlining why I'm picking the equipment. So spoilers, Dash. You've probably already seen it in the video. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing Arcanite Skullcap just for +3 health. Especially helps because I started a lower life total, so it's already active. Spring Tunic because I think that this will probably go long enough to maybe hit 3 turns, probably 6 if I'm controlling the game enough. So I can potentially get additional resources out of that. Metacarpus Node for that turn that I was explaining, the like building up to a combo turn just to add, even if it's an extra 3 damage, that's an extra 3 damage, and that's pretty good. And then Storm Striders to maybe give me the option to have that turn, the impactful turn, be on your turn instead.
I hope not.
Yeah, this card is very good and was banned momentarily.
Yes, momentarily. Yeah, so I am playing Dash. I've played Dash before, but not this type of Dash. I am going to be attempting to construct the Nitro Mechanoid today. This is Hayden Dale's Nitro Mechanoid list, ripped straight from the FABTCG events page. I also have not played in a while and don't necessarily know what I'm doing against Iyslander. But like Bill was kind of saying, I'm imagining this to be kind of a slower, more control-y matchup. We do kind of have the option, obviously, to construct the Mechanoid, but I did bring Technoplasma Pistol. Kind of in a longer game, I can see chipping in for 2, eventually potentially getting you to the point where you are forced to block it and getting a card from your hand every turn being really good. And then you are playing Iyslander, so I'm bringing the Visiertronic Model I and the Achilles Accelerator because they have Arcane Barrier, and I actually don't think there's any other head and feet that I would choose.
You're correct. If you still want to construct Exodia, you need to play those two. As far
Interesting. And then Teklo Foundry Heart. It could have been like a Spellfray Cloak or something, but I did want to leave, again, myself the option to Exodia, so I didn't really want to bring the Spellfray pieces to have them be blown up just to save some health. And then the Galvanic Bender is my arms of choice, hoping to make my Exodia a little stronger.
Very good. Well, I did win the die roll, and I chose to go first because I think that being able to tick up my tunic and also arsenal a card that is potentially ice and blue will be very helpful for me. So with that, I think we can probably hit the ground running here.
I think so. I am Dash.
You are!
So I'm gonna start with this Hyperdriver in play.
You get to do things before I get to do things.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah, it sucks to suck. It's gonna enter with 3 steam counters on it. And then now you may do your turn.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, well, to start off my turn, I do get to put a counter onto my Spring Tunic. And then, what was it that you were saying earlier, that I'm not going to be attacking you?
Yeah, I was hoping at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna be attacking you.
Tough.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attack with this Enlightened Strike. I'm gonna bottom this card from my hand. And I'm going to choose Enlightened Strike gains +2. I'm going to attack you for 7.
Huh. I thought, oh, he drew the one of Nourishing Emptiness. And then this guy says Enlightened Strike.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to Enlightened Strike you.
Okay, well, I'm going to block for at least 3 because I'm still of the mindset that I feel like you're not going to be attacking me too much.
I'm not going to attack you a lot.
Hopefully.
But this deck does play Enlightened Strike. Which I appreciate.
Interesting. And then you said it's +2, so it's for 7.
Yes.
I'm just going to block 3.
Okay.
I'm going to be greedy with my hand here.
Okay, sounds good.
Take 4.
Yes. Then I think I'm just going to play the Sigil of Solace to gain 3 life. And I'm now at 21, and then I'm going to arsenal this last card in my hand.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it'll be your turn after that.
All right, these get battle-worn counters, and then it is my turn. I'm going to start things off with this blue Jumpstart, pitching this blue crankshaft to pay for it, and representing my floating resource with these super neato Spike Feeders resource tracky coins.
Those are quite nice.
Hit up our Patreon if you wanna see how to get those. This costs 1 less to play because I have a Hyperdriver. So it only costs 1, so I have 2 floating. This has boost, so I will banish the top card. It is a mech card, it's a high-speed impact, so this will have go again. And once per turn effect I boosted, I will remove a steam counter and gain a 3rd resource.
That's a lot of resource you got there.
Yeah.
In response, I would like to play this blue card from my arsenal as though it were an instant, because that's what Iyslander lets me do. And I'm going to play this Voltic Bolt. I'm going to be pitching the Scalding Rain to pay for that. And I'll have 1 resource floating after that. And I will deal 3 arcane damage to target hero.
Target hero?
Target hero.
Shucks.
You did try.
I did try. I think I'm okay with that. I will take 3.
Okay. I would then also like to pitch this Fiendl's Fighting Spirit for an additional resource to Waning Moon you for 3.
This is pretty rude. This is pretty rude stuff. I will take another 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, go to 10.
I would also like to take 3. I will go to 19.
Perfect.
Or sorry, 18.
Thank you. I would like to break the combat chain here because I will pay a resource to add a steam counter to my Techloplasma pistol.
Indeed.
Then I will pay a resource to attack you with this red jumpstart, which is for 5. It has boost again, so I will banish the top card. It is a throttle, so it does have go again.
Okay. You have 1 card in hand still?
1 card in hand still.
You have 1 card in hand still?
I have 1 card in hand still.
1 card in hand still. I think I'm going to block for 3 here and take 2.
Take 2.
Go to 16.
And then I'll use this last resource. I'm going to come in with a Pulse Wave Harpoon. So when this attacks a hero, they reveal X cards from their hand, where X is the number of times I've boosted this combat chain, which is only 1, but you only have 1 card in your hand. And then I can choose an action card with block number less than or equal to 1, then add it to the chain link as a defending card.
Okay.
So I don't think I can force it, probably.
Okay,
but
because it is a frosting, it has 3 defense.
Okay.
So yeah.
This also has boost, and I will boost. It is a high octane, so it does have go again. And then I'm coming in for 4.
I will take 4.
Great. And then I'll shoot you, I suppose.
I will go to 10.
Yeah, go ahead. It feels okay for me, I think.
That was not terrible, that's for sure. I'm going to take up my tunic. Oh, sorry, these went to the bottom. I'd like to take up my tunic and then arsenal and pass to you.
I'm going to start things off with a yellow zipper hit, pitching this Construct Nitro Mechanoid. So I will have, this is a yellow card as well, so I will have 1 resource floating. This has boost, however, so I will banish the top card. It's another high-speed impact, and that will trigger my Hyperdriver. I'll remove another steam counter from it to add another resource.
I think I will just be blocking for 3 and take 1.
Take 1, yeah. Then I'll follow it up with a red zipper hit, which is for 5, and that will also boost, and that will be a 0 to 60 down. So coming in for 5 with go again,
Go additionally. I will, in response to that, play this frosting targeting dash to deal 1 arcane damage to any target.
Tough. I will take 1.
Okay. Oh, also, because that was an ice card, I do give you a frostbite.
Oh, that's tragic.
So now you have a frostbite.
Tough.
I will be blocking for, let's say 3, and take 2.
Sounds good. Yeah, this frostbite sucks. Makes things a little weird for me. So because of this frostbite, I'm going to break the combat chain here to try to use a resource to put a steam counter on this, for which I must pay an additional resource because of the frostbite. So I will pitch a blue hyperdriver to gain 3, but use 2. So 2 remaining. That will break the chain, like I mentioned, and it will put a steam counter on the pistol. I will, however, then remove the steam counter from the pistol to attack you for 2.
Very interesting. I would like to block with this Arcanite Skullcap for 2.
Dang. I will break my Achilles Accelerator to gain an action point.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, I also am breaking the chain again to use another resource to put a steam counter on this. I will shoot you once more.
Okay. In response, Waning Moon you for 3 because I have played this frosting.
Sounds good.
So I'll have 1 resource floating after that.
Yeah, I have no cards in my hand, and I just blew up my Source of Arcane Barrier 1, so I will take 3.
Okay. I'm just going to block for 3.
Sounds good. I have no more actions or anything, so I cannot, unfortunately, put this last resource on my pistol. But yeah, go ahead.
The only thing I was able to do during my turn was to draw up and pass.
Perfect. I like that a lot.
The other thing I was able to do was also to tick up my tunic to 3.
Actually relevant, probably.
Important.
I'm starting to think maybe I'm not as much of the aggro deck as I wanted to be, which is a strange thing to say. So I am just going to pitch this blue zipper hit to put a steam counter on my Techloplasma pistol. 2 resources floating. I would like to play this Techlo Pounder.
Oh. I have a response.
Uh-huh.
I would like to activate my Spring Tunic and activate my Storm Striders.
That's bad for me.
I would then like to play this Emeritus Scolding, pitching this Frosting. So I'll have one resource floating, but I'm going to use that resource to pump it into my Metacarpus node. So Emeritus Scolding is able to be played as an instant because of my Storm Striders, and if it's playing during an opponent's turn, it instead of dealing 4 damage, deals 6 damage, which because of Metacarpus node is increased by 1 to be 7 damage.
Well, that's 1 more than my life total. So I would like to pitch this blue hyperdriver to barrier 2 of it.
Okay.
I suppose.
Okay.
That will leave me with a resource floating. Okay. And I will take 5. Go to 1.
Now, because I've played a non-attack action card this turn, I would like to pitch this Channel Lake Frigid to activate the ability of my Waning Moon and also pump it up with this Metacarpus node to deal 4 damage to you.
Well, I can pitch this Pulse Wave Harpoon to barrier 2 of it and take 2 and die.
Arcane damage! I'm a wizard now!
Yeah, I think I may be messed up, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it is possible, now that I reread Metacarpus node, that I couldn't buff the Waning Moon, but it still would have been for 3 damage.
Yeah, so I still would have taken 1.
It would have been exact. So for anybody in the comments who's typing that out now, this does say when you play a card with an effect. But anyway. Yeah.
Tough.
Wizard.
For me, tough. Yeah, I mean, it was close.
No, it like actually was. I, especially not being able to arsenal a card on that last turn, I think I would have been in a much more difficult spot, even just being at 5.
Right.
Because there are so many cards in that deck that are just 1 for 5 with boost, 2 for 6 with boost.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Like, I think if I had... Well, no, not even, right? Because if I go for a big attack on that turn, you kill me in response still, right?
Yeah, yeah, because the way that hand specifically set itself up, I had the 2 blues that I needed to be able to pay for everything, and my Tunic had just ticked up to 3. So.
Right. Yeah, that last hand was a little bit awkward. It was another blue hyperdriver and a Teklo Pounder, and then only 2 attacks. So I decided to try to take the line where I like set up the Pounder for next turn, hopefully do something, but I think I maybe jumped the gun on the accelerators a little early too.
Maybe. They represented an additional 2 damage, which like isn't nothing for sure. I'm not sure what all you had put together for your hands and stuff. So, I mean, 2 damage is still 2 damage. It allows the subsequent turns to be more aggressive and more impactful as a result. So
yeah, and like so it was weird because I couldn't. Like, I guess I could have blocked the Enlightened Strike with a card from my hand for free, right? Because you went first.
Yeah.
But like I felt like my first turn was really strong.
It was. It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I went from 21 to 10 after like blocking a decent amount of things.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, and then I just kind of couldn't keep the gas on after that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
I mean, that was the first run with that deck, and I feel like you're just going to get stronger with it as the day goes on. You're just going to keep powering up to different levels of Kaioken. So
I did remember how to give my cards go again.
That's good enough.
Boost.
Yeah. Anyway, so that will do it for the first episode of the 2023 series of the Goliath Gauntlet. Thank you all very much for tuning in and for sticking with us during our interim. Very much appreciated. We always really do appreciate your support. Stay well and stay safe. Eliot, I will see you in the next battle, and I will see you in the next episode.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Spike Feeders on YouTube. Before you close the window, make sure you click subscribe for more great Flesh and Blood content.